small heroes deploy advanced technology, proving bravery knows no physical size.
Discipline begins at the gates, where future rescuers learn their vital roles.
Atho. Mastering the art of healing is essential for every specialized rescue operative.
Precision in medical training ensures every life is handled with expert care.
Collaboration is the foundation of success in high-pressure emergency rescue missions.
Choosing a specialty allows these young trainees to find their true calling.
Identity and duty merge as they prepare to face real-world challenges together.
Equipped with specialized gear, they are ready to respond to any crisis. The signal for action demands immediate focus and perfectly synchronized team execution.
Rapid response to the fire scene demonstrates the critical nature of rescue urgency.
Proper equipment handling is the lifeline between a disaster and a successful rescue.
Saving lives often involves braving dangerous conditions to extract the most vulnerable.
Gentle medical care provides necessary comfort to victims in the aftermath of trauma.
Vigilance and reconnaissance reveal hidden threats that still remain within the structure.
The smallest victims often face the greatest peril during high-altitude structural emergencies.
Shared success strengthens the bond between team members during intense field operations.
Determination in their gaze reflects a total commitment to completing the rescue mission.
Mechanical assistance bridges the gap when biological limits prevent reaching victims in height.
Imagination runs wild as mysterious patterns spark theories of hidden jungle giants.
Diligent labor by specialized experts lays the foundation for safer community infrastructure.
Sudden inspiration often strikes when inquisitive minds encounter a perplexing structural anomaly.
Swift action follows discovery as the team mobilizes to gather necessary investigative tools.
Adopting the correct professional persona is the first step in conducting authority-led investigations. Modern surveillance technology and mobility are critical for maintaining order in expanding territories. Authority figures arrive on site, bridging the gap between civilian labor and forensic examination. Meticulous measurement and documentation form the backbone of any valid scientific forensic inquiry. Photographic evidence captures transient moments that physical tracks might lose over time.
Every microscopic trace element serves as a potential clue to the intruder's true identity.
Organizing evidence into logical patterns transforms raw data into a coherent narrative profile.
Presenting findings to senior units bridges the gap between fieldwork and strategic oversight.
Night surveillance operations require a psychological shift, from active pursuit to silent observation.
The rhythmic motion of rain on glass often masks the approach of target suspects.
Removing the mask of anonymity reveals the vulnerability behind most delinquent actions. Direct accountability forces the offender to recognize the impact of their reckless behavior.
Preventative measures and clear communication ensure the preservation of future architectural progress.
Leisurely coastal walks provide a tranquil environment for intergenerational bonding and discovery.
Creative play with natural materials fosters structural understanding and fine motor skill development.
Unexpected environmental crises demand immediate empathy and a rapid shift toward rescue priorities.
Expert intervention provides the necessary leadership required to manage large-scale biological emergencies.
Hydration is the primary survival factor for marine mammals stranded in high-heat zones.
Leveraging natural tidal forces is essential for relocating massive weight back to safety.
Heroic experiences often plant the seeds for future professional aspirations in young minds.
Anthropogenic waste creates lethal traps for small coastal organisms within their own habitats.
Restoring natural resources allows local wildlife to thrive without the interference of pollution.
Please. A shared journey at sunset symbolizes the peaceful coexistence of all living beings.
Collaborative play acts as a micro-society simulation for developing essential negotiation skills.
A rabbit's triumph with a plastic blade sparks awe in young onlookers.
Acquiring new resources represents an investment in the collective creative potential of the team. Logistical transport of essential materials requires careful navigation through diverse environmental terrains.
Gravity remains a relentless force, testing the structural integrity of even the simplest logistics.
Aquatic adaptation allows these engineers to navigate obstacles impossible for terrestrial species. Interspecies cooperation during reconstruction projects fosters community resilience and shared purpose.
The completion of a complex structure validates the efficacy of collective effort.
Shared celebration after a monumental task cements the social bonds of the group.
Organizing resources effectively ensures the seamless execution of complex structural assembly tasks.
Healthy competition within a team environment drives innovation and maintained high morale.
Strategic height advantages allow for the precise placement of critical architectural components.
Meticulous attention to detail prevents structural failure during the final phases of assembly.
The final symbolic action marks the transition from construction to successful project completion.
Slice it. Collective triumph validates the hard work and dedication of every team member involved. And new opportunities arrive with the dawn, revitalizing the spirit for upcoming personal milestones.
Recognizing significant dates triggers a psychological shift toward expectation and high-energy joy.
Rapid movement through the domestic environment reflects the internal urgency of celebration preparation.
Synchronized communication across distance coordinates the complex logistics of surprise social gatherings.
Anticipation for a loved one's return often creates an emotional countdown.
Digital connectivity bridges the gap between domestic duties and educational obligations.
Personal milestones serve as internal markers for the passage of time. Stepping into the urban landscape marks a transition from safety to exploration.
Observing communal joy highlights the psychological desire for shared social belonging.
Sites of abundance often trigger a primal drive for nutritional fulfillment.
Consumption by peers emphasizes the felt need for immediate self-gratification. Direct negotiation for resources represents the fundamental basis of economic exchange.
An empty wallet highlights the harsh reality of modern market-driven commerce.
Sudden atmospheric changes often amplify the internal psychological weight of perceived social isolation.
The threshold of home serves as the final confrontation with expected loneliness. Sudden illumination dispels the day's cumulative disappointment through the power of family. Genuine emotional connection remains the most valuable resource for psychological well-being and happiness.
Immersive career simulations provide the psychological scaffolding for early professional identity development.
Visual exposure to diverse vocational paths stimulates cognitive curiosity in young learners.
Scaling professional tools to accessible proportions fosters a sense of personal agency. Mentorship by seasoned professionals bridges the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical execution.
Adopting specialized attire triggers a psychological shift toward responsibility and social duty.
Hands-on engagement with advanced machinery builds foundational confidence in handling high-stakes equipment. Effective deployment of resources is critical for neutralizing localized environmental hazards.
Direct intervention results in the successful suppression of the simulated threat. Positive reinforcement solidifies the learning experience and encourages further professional exploration.
Identifying the objective is the first critical step in high-stakes rescue missions.
Navigating through low-visibility environments tests the trainee's spatial awareness and internal composure.
Locating survivors requires a combination of high-intensity focus and gentle physical manipulation.
Successfully extracting the target marks the completion of the primary life safety objective.
Coordinated movement during egress ensures that both rescuer and victim reach safety.
Utilizing mechanical height assistance allows rescuers to reach otherwise inaccessible emergency locations.
Small-scale rescues require extreme precision to avoid further injury to fragile victims.
Build lasting professional
Formal recognition of achievement validates the hard work invested during the training phase. Family support provides the ultimate emotional reward for personal and professional growth.
Watching established heroes on screen shapes a young mind's vocational dreams.
Aspirations take root when imagination bridges the gap between observation and identity.
Simulated play acts as the first practical laboratory for future career skills. Mastering basic tools builds the confidence required for handling complex professional machinery.
Parental validation remains the most powerful catalyst for a child's creative development.
Coordinating logistics behind the scenes ensures the successful delivery of milestone surprises. Formal arrivals of new assets signal the transition from theory to practice.
The unboxing experience represents the physical manifestation of anticipated professional growth.
High-quality equipment validates the trainee's role, fostering a serious professional mindset.
Collaborative field exercises solidify the team bond within their new professional identities.
Daily simulation training hardwires the instincts needed for rapid real-world emergency responses.
The high-pitched alarm frequency demands an immediate transition from training to tactical deployment.
Individual physical limitations are overcome through sheer willpower and a deep sense of duty. Interspecies coordination maximizes operational efficiency during complex multi-stage rescue maneuvers.
Direct water application neutralizes thermal energy, preventing total structural failure of the building.
Climbing toward danger requires a psychological suppression of the natural survival instinct.
The successful extraction of the smallest victims remains the highest measure of success.
Shared victory strengthens the emotional bond and reinforces the team's collective purpose. Public gratitude provides the social capital that fuels the next cycle of service. Mutual respect between veteran and novice ensures the continuity of heroism over time.
Archiving professional milestones reinforces the internal narrative of personal growth and capability.
Tangible tokens of memory provide the psychological foundation for a stable self-identity.
Post-operational fatigue indicates a total expenditure of cognitive and physical energy reserves.
AZ. Secure sleep environments are vital for the consolidation of newly acquired career skills.
Subconscious processing through dreams prepares the mind for future complex vocational challenges.
Seasonal environmental shifts demand rapid adaptation of tactical gear and operational strategies.
Thermal regulation gear is the first requirement for maintaining efficiency in low-temperature zones.
Navigating through unstable terrain tests the physical coordination and endurance of the team.
Identifying local resource hubs is essential for maintaining communal logistics during winter.
Establishing positive relationships with local vendors secures critical supply lines for the group.
Hands-on participation in artisanal production builds a comprehensive understanding of supply chain ethics.
Repetitive physical tasks in a workshop environment develop the kitten's precision motor skills.
Observing high-temperature thermal processing is vital for understanding large-scale resource transformation dynamics.
Aesthetic finishing of products enhances the perceived value of communal, nutritional assets.
Successful transaction completion reinforces the social contract between professional service and community needs.
Distributing warm resources during extreme climate shifts is a high-priority logistical mission.
Creative structural assembly using transient environmental materials fosters innovative problem-solving mentalities. Navigating gravity-driven transport systems tests the team's rapid physical reaction and equilibrium.
Proactive crisis intervention involves identifying vulnerable units and providing immediate nutritional relief. Direct aid results in the immediate stabilization of a critical biological system. Returning through the frozen night marks the successful completion of field logistics. A threshold of warmth provides the ultimate physiological reward for the team's endurance.
Maintaining hygiene and post-operational care prevents long-term environmental degradation of the unit.
Thermal restoration through shared consumption stabilizes internal systems after extreme cold exposure.
Savoring the simple comforts reinforces the psychological satisfaction of a job well done. Interpersonal grooming rituals solidify the social bond and reduce post-emergency psychological stress.
Collective rest is essential for high-performance units preparing for future vocational deployments.
A new horizon introduces fresh agricultural challenges and opportunities for resource management.
Strategic harvesting in the orchard tests the unit's dexterity and vertical reach capabilities.
Successful extraction of high-value natural resources ensures nutritional sustainability for the family.
Harvesting fruit at the right moment is a complex science of timing.
Mechanical torque provides the necessary power for large-scale agricultural logistics. Vertical exploration requires absolute spatial coordination and high levels of bravery.
Using leverage-based tools maximizes the physical output of small-scale rescuers.
Fragile habitats require constant awareness during high-impact resource harvesting activities.
Gravitational acceleration transforms a small mistake into a major environmental disaster.
Authentic apologies bridge the emotional gap between diverse and conflicting species.
Working in unison creates a stronger and more resilient ecological community.
Returning from the field requires a psychological shift back home.
Processing raw resources adds significant nutritional value to the food.
Systematic bottling ensures that processed energy resources remain portable and shelf-stable.
Direct delivery of aid strengthens established trust within multi-species social hierarchies.
Providing processed nutrients acts as a peace offering after localized environmental trauma.
Caloric intake through vitamins facilitates faster recovery of the squirrel family's morale.
Microsurgical intervention with biological materials highlights the kitten's growing empathetic medical skills.
Bovoan. Social integration through play mitigates the psychological stress of the previous accident.
Advanced structural engineering with wood and metal provides a safer long-term habitat.
Completion of the treehouse represents a successful large-scale ecological reparations project. Communal dining rituals integrate diverse species into a singular, cohesive social family. A final group toast celebrates the psychological victory of community and shared abundance.
Communal maintenance of shared spaces reinforces the internal psychology of domestic discipline.
New navigational tools spark immediate curiosity and a drive for technical mastery.
Strategic mentorship provides the necessary safety net for early attempts at locomotion.
Initial wobbly movements are essential precursors to achieving long-term mechanical equilibrium.
Transitioning to open environments tests the trainee's adaptability to variable terrain physics.
Expanding the operational radius increases the complexity of environmental sensory input processing.
Minor structural obstacles provide critical tests of the unit's rapid equilibrium recovery. Resilience is built through the psychological processing of minor operational failures.
Sinews. Reaching the intended destination validates the efficacy of the entire training cycle.
Deep study of technical literature builds the foundational data for upcoming complex missions. Pre-operational reconnaissance via blueprints aligns team objectives with new structural layouts.
Systematic kit preparation ensures all critical tools are available for unpredictable field variables.
Entering specialized research facilities marks the transition from domestic theory to professional application.
Expert mentorship from senior academics provides the necessary guidance for complex data analysis.
Microscopic examination reveals hidden biological structures that inform larger ecological rescue strategies. Understanding global environmental variables is essential for long-term multi-species habitat preservation.
Simulated celestial environments expand the unit's cognitive horizons toward future planetary exploration. Formal accreditation of scientific knowledge marks the transition to an elite investigative status.
Immediate hydration protocols are essential for maintaining the victim's internal physiological equilibrium.
Logistical escort maneuvers provide the psychological safety needed for a successful extraction transition.
Crossing back into the secure home perimeter marks the conclusion of field operations.
Operational debriefing with senior units facilitates the transfer of critical field mission data.
Authentic emotional integration after trauma reinforces the social resilience of the entire group. Natural atmospheric phenomena provide a symbolic conclusion to a period of intense crisis.
Reviewing theoretical literature after field deployment strengthens long-term cognitive skill retention.
Restorative sleep consolidates the day's learning, preparing the unit for tomorrow's new missions.
Morning preparation triggers a psychological shift from domesticity toward aquatic tactical exploration.
Moving through the transition zone aligns the team's internal compass with coastal objectives.
Direct engagement with senior nautical experts ensures high-level mission strategy validation.
Entering the submersible marks the final boundary between terrestrial theory and aquatic application.
Navigating through pressurized environments requires acute sensory focus and precise mechanical manipulation.
Biological reconnaissance in the deep zone reveals a hidden world of vibrant complexity.
Responding to underwater distress signals tests the team's rapid response and spatial coordination. Mechanical intervention is the only way to neutralize complex anthropogenic threats underwater.
Successful casualty extraction restores the ecological balance of the targeted reef system.
Returning to the hub ensures the team receives the necessary emotional validation. Completing coastal operations marks the transition towards celestial-based navigational research missions. Twilight transitions activate. Returning to the domestic hub facilitates a critical physiological reset after extreme environmental exposure.
Nutritional replenishment using high-protein resources is vital for maintaining the team's caloric reserves. Communal feeding
Vertical exploration moves from terrestrial depths to the vast expanse of the cosmos. Direct observation of celestial coordinates.
Technical calibration of optical sensors allows for the precise mapping and stamping of distant planetary systems.
Synthesizing historical star charts with modern digital simulations ensures total mission accuracy. Collaborative
Structural assembly of advanced transport prototypes requires high-precision motor coordination and material expertise.
Deploying technology into the open field tests the unit's environmental adaptation and hardware stability. Moonlit